Hi, are you preparing for UPCAT, ACET, or the DOST Scholarship Exam? Then come and solve with me. So before we begin, make sure that you have a pen and paper with you. So in this video, you will solve 5 algebra questions. Make sure that you read each question carefully. Solve it while the timer is on screen. Write on your paper. Make sure that you write every step that you did. If you're not sure with how to answer, you can watch the solution after the timer. Check your work and keep track of your score. Are you ready? Now, let's go to question number 1. If a equals 3/5 of xy, what is the value of y when x equals 2 and a equals 24? You have 30 seconds to solve this question. Now, I'm going to show you how will I solve this question. A is equal to 3/5 of xy, and then we just substitute the value of x, which is 2, and then we substitute the value of a, which is 24, and then we will need to find the value of y. So this is 3/5 times 2, and then times y. So I don't like to multiply yet, so what I'm gonna do is this 24 here can be written as 12 times 2. So we can cancel out the 2 in both sides. And then we're left with 12 equals 3/5 y. And now we need to solve for y. So we're asked to solve for y. We just need to get the reciprocal of 3/5 and multiply that to both sides. So I multiply both sides by 5/3 and 5/3. So that cancels out the 3/5, and then we can multiply 5/3 times 12, but we can simplify by dividing 12 by 3, which is 4, and we're left with 5 times 4, which is 20. So the value of y is 20, and that is letter B. Are you ready for the next question? So now, let's go to question number 2. For this question, I will also give you 30 seconds to solve. Are you ready? So we have here if x squared minus 3x plus 4 multiplied by 2x plus 1, that is equal to ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d for all values of x. And the question here is we need to find the value of c. You have 30 seconds. I hope you have an answer. So now I'm going to show you how to solve this problem. So this one here means that we need to multiply first expression by the second expression. And we're only looking for the value of c, which is the one with x squared minus 3x plus 4 make sure that you copy each expression correctly. And then we have 2x plus 1. I like to do it like this because I can put them on the grid to multiply there. And since we're just looking for the c here, which is with x, we don't need to multiply everything. We just need to multiply this part here, 2x and 4, which is 8x. And the other one is 1 multiplied by negative 3x, which is negative 3x. And then we have 8x minus 3x, which is equal to 5x. So that means the value of c is just 5. So our answer here is letter D. Are you ready for question number 3? So here is question number 3. If 6x over the square root of x plus 1 is equal to 3 times square root of 2, what is one possible value of x? So for this one, I will also give you 30 seconds to solve. I hope you have an answer. And now it's time for me to show you the solution. So we're given this equation and it looks a bit complicated. So what I usually do for this type of question is to do trial and error. So I try out the options and see which one works. And whenever you're given these options, you start with the simplest one. So let's say, for example, if we start with 0, this one here, this expression here, and if x is 0, this expression on the left automatically becomes 0. So the first option is actually wrong. So now let's try one, which is also one easy one to substitute. So we have here 6 times 1, which is the 6. And then the denominator will just be 1 plus 1, which is just 6 over square root of 2. And then we need to rationalize by multiplying by square root of 2 and square root of 2. So we have 6 square root of 2 over 2. And then we cancel out 6 divided by 2, which is 3 square root of 2. So there, it's equal to 3 square root of 2. So that means our answer here is letter D. Did you get that too? Let's proceed to question number 4. Okay, so this is question number 4. In the equations below, given that x is less than 0 and y is greater than 0, what is the value of x minus y? So the equations given are the absolute value of x minus 1 is equal to 2, and the absolute value of y plus 2 is equal to 3. So I'm giving you 30 seconds to answer this question. Okay, so now it's time for me to solve the problem. So first, let's solve this equation. So absolute value of x minus 1 equals 2. You need to solve two equations for this one, which is x minus 1 is equal to 2 and x minus 1 equals negative 2. Since 2, if you get the absolute value of 2 and also negative 2, both of them gives a positive answer. That's why we need to solve the two equations. And then if we add 1 to both sides of the first equation, we get x is equal to 3. And for the other one, we need to add 1 to both sides of the equation as well. So we get x equals negative 1. So for the first absolute value equation, we got these two answers here. And we're looking for a value of x that is less than 0. So that means we will get this one here, which is negative 1. So now it's time to solve the second one. So we do y plus 2 is equal to 3, and y plus 2 is equal to negative 3. And we subtract 2 to both sides for the first one, and then we get y equals 1. And the other one, we subtract 2 to both sides, which is y equals negative 5. And we're looking for a y value, which is positive. And that is y equals 1. And take note that we're solving for x minus y. So that means x minus y, we just substitute the x and the y. So that gives us negative 1 minus 1, which is equal to negative 2. So the answer here is letter A. Okay, congratulations. We are now moving to the last question. Question number 5. So, in this question, we have, if the table below gives values of the quadratic function f of x at selected values of x, which of the following defines f of x? And we're given this table. So I will give you 30 seconds to answer the question. Okay, so now it's time for me to solve. For this question, we don't really need to go and use like a formula for a quadratic. Instead, we can just take a look at the given points here and try to match them to the given options. So if you take a look at the given options, all of them have like x squared, x squared, x squared, and just a constant here. So if you take a look at the given, we have here 0 and 5. So that means if x is 0, we should get 5 as an answer. So if you take a look at all this given here, and you substitute x as the value as x equals 0, and you should end up with 5. There are only two options that will be left, which is the first option and the last option, right? And the next thing that we need to do is to just figure out which of these options work. We can just like try if x is 1, and then substitute it in the given. So let's say, for example, if we try in the first option is x squared plus 5, we will get 1 squared plus 5, which is just 6. But if we try it for the last option, which is 2x squared plus 5, this gives us 2 times 1 squared plus 5, which is equal to 7. So we have 1 and we should get 7. So that means it's option D. That is the correct answer. So how many questions did you get right? I hope you got 5 out of 5. If you want to do more practice with me, check out the other videos.